Good morning and welcome to this event hosted by DMA and the Department for International Trade. My name is Katie, I'm an associate at DMA and I'll be with you for the duration of the event this morning. I'd like to comment first on the extraordinary audience who've joined us today, close to 500 representatives in agribusiness, subnational governments, small-scale farms, remote farming operations and large-scale processing operations too. It really is an exceptionally wide-ranging audience and thank you again for having dialed in. Before I go on to the broader content of what we're hoping to achieve today, I just want to focus on some small practicalities. This morning we'll be having some keynote presentations from the British Deputy High Commissioner, the National President of the All Farmers Association and the Department of International Trade's Trade Advisor, after which we'll hear from Stanbic Bank, who are going to outline what their agribusiness offer is. Over the last few weeks, since registration opened in early March, an overwhelming number of questions on access to finance and procuring equipment were submitted, so we're really excited about hearing from Stanbic Bank later. Now that I've touched on this concept of questions, the way that today is going to pan out is you're going to hear from 11 British companies who have key agricultural equipment or services, and in many cases they're bringing these to Nigeria for the first time. You will undoubtedly have many questions which you'd like to put to them directly, and our job will be to connect you with these companies. So please submit your questions in the box. They'll first come to us and then we'll field them to the right person. Please bear with us, we've already had several hundred questions that we're handling at the moment, so it may be that answers to your questions run into next week. For any more information during the event, please use the tabs on the right hand side of the screen above the slides for any useful contact details or any more information on the event and our partners. Now to the substance. The idea of this event came from the Department for International Trade, and it was to see how the British business community could better connect with Nigerian agribusiness. The UK is renowned for its quality and expertise throughout the value chain, from farm to fork, and this is an avenue for Nigerian businesses to gain access to that capability offer, as a number of competitively priced UK agribusiness specialists have been invited to present their products today. The ratification of the ACFTA agreement has presented a huge opportunity for the Nigerian agri-sector and has the potential to boost the general economy if the sector can improve its efficiency and quality, and why access to affordable mechanisation and modernisation is a key sustainable development goal of the Nigerian government as it focuses on key goals of food security and growth. So we've selected a real cross-section of businesses based on your inquiries and on the British business offer. These range from providing renewable energy supplies in remote areas to the absolutely critical farming infrastructure, from tractors to processing products that every agribusiness is constantly improving on. We're delighted to be part of this process, and it's an ongoing development programme for us too, so we're really open to receiving your comments on how we can better deliver this going forward. Before I introduce our first guest, can I please say our sincere gratitude to our host, the DIT, and British Government, and also to our extraordinary partners, the All Farmers Association and Agri Nigeria, who many of you would have received your invitation from and have really made this event possible. I'd also like to say thank you to our banking partner. As we referred to earlier, Stanbic Bank have the financial products around purchasing in agribusiness that's so key to so many of you. I'd also like to thank our media partner, the Oxford Business Group. I'll be with you throughout the day, but in this very first instance, it's my real pleasure to be able to invite Ben Llewellyn-Jones, a distinguished career diplomat and specialist in sub-Saharan Africa, having held posts in so many of our most important sister countries. Ben, it's an absolute pleasure.
Hello everyone, my name is Ben Llewellyn-Jones. I'm the British Deputy High Commissioner here in Lagos, Nigeria. First and foremost, I'd like to thank you all for making time to be part of this trade show. It's evident that this virtual space is our new normal and digital activities are here to stay for a while at least. Specifically, I'd like to thank the All Farmers Association of Nigeria, our organising partner Agri Nigeria, my colleague Seyi, who leads trade and investment conversations for the agri sector at DIT, and all participating British companies exhibiting their equipment, technology and services. It's really great to see the interest in this event, and I hope you're able to make some useful business connections. That's most important. I'm humbled to have been given this opportunity to deliver a few opening remarks for the virtual Alternative Agricultural Equipment Trade Show, as it will no doubt encourage new standards of product exhibition in international trade. In Nigeria, our purpose is to champion economic growth and job creation by increasing sustainable, inclusive and responsible trade between Nigeria and the UK. And Nigeria is undoubtedly an extremely important market for the UK and a strategic business partner of the UK, considering both countries' long history of trade and investment. As a partner, we stand ready to support the Nigerian government's ambition of mechanising and developing the country's agricultural sector. The UK believes it has a major role to play in helping Nigeria's government to achieve its ambitions, and we can share our knowledge, our know-how, accumulated through many, many decades of experience in agriculture. Our companies have used this to innovate across the agriculture value chain and have built high-yield sustainable agricultural practices. Partnering with key government and private sector stakeholders to support commercial successes and prosperity is clearly vital. Our building and investing responsibly in our shared economic future is also essential for a sustainable and inclusive global economy. Agriculture currently provides employment for about 35% of the population in Nigeria, and it remains the foundation of the Nigerian economy. It is the main source of livelihood for most Nigerians and contributes well over 29.25% to the overall real GDP. So it's a significant market already. The sector is being transformed though by commercialisation at the small, medium and large scale enterprise levels. On the other hand, the Nigerian agricultural sector has encountered several challenges ranging from an obsolete land tenure system that limits access to land, a very low level of irrigation development, limited adoption of research findings and technologies, high cost of farm inputs, poor access to credit, inefficient fertiliser procurement and distribution, insufficient storage facilities and poor access to markets. So these challenges present opportunities in many ways for companies that want to invest in the sector to help overcome them. More recently, changes in average temperatures, rainfall, climate extremes and infestation of pests and diseases causing organisms precipitated by climate change pose new challenges, great challenges indeed, to agriculture. This is coupled with a high dependence on rain-fed agriculture, which has made the agricultural production system highly vulnerable to adverse seasonal variations. These have all contributed to low agricultural productivity with high post-harvest losses and waste in Nigeria. So agriculture is essential, but it does not mean it hasn't space to change. In fact, it means it should change, and there is plenty of space to work in that change. So Nigeria now needs to find and promote agricultural practices and take it as a proper business to ensure it is done in the most productive and most sustainable way with use of technology and best practice. And this is where UK agri-tech capability comes in. The UK has a long and distinguished history in agriculture. Over time, we have developed an unrivaled agri-tech capability. British businesses can deliver solutions across the agricultural life cycle, from initial scoping studies through all phases of feasibility and design, through to execution, operation and equipment development. Without a doubt, COVID-19 has brought forward a new, challenging and unforeseen global economic context. The UK government has been deeply concerned by the impact of COVID-19 on developing countries, which is why we pledged approximately £774 million to mitigate the violent effects on economies and health systems wrought by the virus on the world's most vulnerable populations. We can anticipate that Nigerian farmers and agro-investors will be seeking solutions to increase their operational capacity, yields per hectare, export potentials, and to reduce their overall post-harvest losses. The UK has much to offer here in terms of knowledge, in terms of experience, in terms of equipment, and in terms of technology and service expertise. So today, we welcome the opportunity to showcase a few of these UK companies and what they have to offer in the agricultural equipment and technology space. So once again, I want to thank you for your participation in this showcase and wish you a fruitful exchange and great business connections that will come from this. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you, Ben, for that really comprehensive overview and the importance of those statistics and the sheer size of the proportion agriculture makes of Nigeria's GDP and its contribution to employment, which shows agriculture is obviously such a critical part of the entire Nigerian economy. Thank you again. It's now my pleasure to introduce the National President of the All Farmer Association of Nigeria. Over to you.
My keynote address on the Alternative Agricultural Equipment Trade Show organized by DMA Invest Limited. Agricultural mechanization today has a very broad meaning. This broad meaning includes production, distribution, and utilization of a variety of tools, machineries, and equipments for development of agricultural land, planting, harvesting, and primary processing. Nigeria's mechanization rate below the average of FAO's recommendation. For every 10,000 hectares in Nigeria of arable land, farmers have access to 6 tractors only. Improving the performance of agricultural sector has become one of the important challenges to be faced in the context of fighting malnutrition, illness, poverty, and unemployment. Furthermore, in recent years, the situation has been aggravated by very high food commodity prices on the world market. This has significantly increased the number of people in poverty in many countries. As a result of progress in human development has been slowed down, and, the danger of failing to deliver the Sustainable Development Goals (SDGs). To achieve the SDGs, agricultural mechanization is a crucial input for agricultural crop production that historically has been neglected in the context of developing world. Applying new techniques that are environmentally friendly enables farmers to produce crop more efficiently by using less power. A program such as Alternative Agricultural Equipment Trade Show organized by DME Invest is like putting a square peg in a square hole. Nigeria's farmers have craved for platforms such as this, which will avail them the opportunity to access such quality and affordable machineries, tools, and inputs to improve their productivity and reduce costs and losses. There is a great potential to increase agricultural production in Nigeria. However, the realization of these potentials will require a high level of commitment and resources. At the same time, due consideration will have to be given to ecological and climate conditions. This requires a rational and responsible approach to the choice of cropping system and crop production inputs. One of the most important of these inputs is the development and use of increased level of farm power and appropriate mechanization techniques. At all Farmers Association of Nigeria, AFAN level, all hands are on deck to face the challenges squarely and to partner with government, organizations, associations that have similar aspirations to achieve the desired goals. I thank the organizers of this historical and groundbreaking event for giving me the opportunity and honored me with this keynote address. Thank you, Farouk. Rabiu. Mudi is my name. President All Farmers Association of Nigeria. Thank you.
Thank you very much for such kind opening and keynote remarks. What you said about producing more for less is really the overarching theme of today, and this is something our traders will definitely pick up on and are involved in. Thank you, and what a great way to kick off today's event. It's now my pleasure to hand over to Seyi, the trade advisor for the Department of International Trade in Lagos, and who's been the vision behind today's event, the driver of its agenda, and the British government's go-to person on agribusiness in Nigeria, as well as him having an enormous mining portfolio. Seyi, it's been a pleasure to work with you over the last month, and over to you for your opening comments.
Hello everybody, my name is Oluwaseyi Adepoju. I am the trade advisor on Nigerian agriculture sector to the Department of International Trade, UK. I lead all trade and investment conversation in Nigerian agriculture sector for the UK government. I welcome you all to the Alternative Agriculture Equipment Trade Show. Before I go further, I would like to say a big thank you to all organizing partners, speakers, and agri sector stakeholders in the United Kingdom and in Nigeria. You all made today a reality. Kudos. Going by both countries' history, this level of collaboration have long been awaited, and I'm happy to witness this happen today. Agriculture is a business, and as such should be treated as a business. Over the years, how people do business have evolved, from barter to cash, from cash to cashless systems, and other legal tenders. As such, Nigerian agriculture stakeholders should improve on their approach to the agri business. In any business, your inputs determine your outputs, which simply connotes if you want a better yield, then you should have a better soil structure practice. You should grow better seed. You should use better fertilizer. You should set up better irrigation system. You should use better harvesting techniques and equipment. You should use better processing machines and technique. And finally, you should use better storage facilities. All these and a lot more is what the UK has to offer. Putting into consideration the many years of experience and innovation of the UK agriculture sector. What better partner can Nigeria have other than the UK at this point, when the Nigerian government is pushing to grow our agri sector to diversify the economy from oil? Today, we present an array of UK companies with great innovations, technology, equipment across the entire agricultural value chain. This UK firm will be exhibiting a couple of their products, and their representatives will be available via the live chat or email to answer any question you may want to ask or any inquiry you have about their product. Also, we have our partner bank, Stanbic IBTC, who have an equipment financing offer. And we have the head of agri business who will be sharing more on how you can leverage on their financing offers to acquire this equipment of your choice. So I greet you. Have a lovely day. And I wish you all the best. Thank you.
Thank you, Seyi, and we can't overstate how much of today's proceedings have originated, been thought through and driven by you and your team, so thank you again. To the many of you who've been writing to us since we started today, we will try to get back to you as soon as we can, but please do keep your questions coming. As Seyi mentioned, banks are a key part of the agribusiness cycle, and we're delighted that the most impactful agribusiness bank in Nigeria is with us today. Once again, financial products are part of accessing finance for improving the agribusiness offer and are absolutely fundamental to improvement within this industry. So with that in mind, we are absolutely delighted to present our banking partner, Stanbic Bank, and its head of agribusiness, Wole, Oshin.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. I'm delighted to deliver the opening address at this year's edition of the Alternative Agriculture Equipment Trade Show. Farming is one of the oldest professions of humankind and comes with profound lessons on survival, sustainability, and the need for purposeful work. We have learned to survive the elements and grow the needed crops all year round as a result of agriculture. Perhaps this could be why Brett Bryan, a Canadian organic farmer, poet, and novelist, said, "Farming is a profession of hope." We can say that this statement holds true when you consider a 2020 PricewaterhouseCoopers report on agriculture in Nigeria, which stated that more than 80% of Nigerian farmers are smallholder farmers, and collectively they produce about 90% of Nigeria's agricultural produce, and this is at subsistence level. One can only imagine the possibilities where the key drivers of agriculture, key drivers of success in agriculture, are readily available for these smallholder farmers, including commercial producers and other value chain players, to scale up their production. One of these drivers is the availability of mechanization equipment, which is the reason why we're here today. The organizers have assembled an array of agricultural equipment providers, and this event promises to reveal opportunities to support the growth of agriculture and agribusiness in Nigeria. And at Stanbic IBTC Bank, we recognize that the lack of adequate finance is also a challenge for the sector. And this is the reason why we have today a dedicated agribusiness finance offering. We work very closely with regulators and policymakers in addition to nurturing various partnerships to develop an area of collections and working capital and trade finance products. And this is also in addition to financing acquisition of equipment through our vehicle and asset finance products to meet the needs of clients across the agribusiness value chain. And one of such products is the 50 billion naira agribusiness finance portfolio, which we have created with the Nigerian incentive-based risk-sharing system for agricultural lending, that's NERSAL. I would like to add that Stanbic IBTC Bank is one of the leading financial institutions in Nigeria and is listed on the Nigerian Stock Exchange as Stanbic IBTC Holdings, and it comprises of 10 companies, including Stanbic IBTC Pension Managers, Stanbic IBTC Asset Management, Stanbic IBTC Insurance Brokers, Stanbic IBTC Insurance, Stanbic IBTC Stockbrokers, amongst others. In addition, 65% of Stanbic IBTC is owned by Standard Bank, which is the biggest bank in Africa by assets. And in turn, Standard Bank is owned 20% by the Industrial and Commercial Bank of China, that's ICBC, which is the biggest bank in the world. By implication, ICBC owns 13% of Stanbic IBTC. And as such, we're able to leverage our Pan-African and global connections for the benefit of our clients. And to enhance food security, we have also partnered with the United Nations through UN Women to provide seed funding for women across 6 geopolitical zones in Nigeria and including the Federal Capital Territory. With this partnership, we are not only ensuring food security, we're also creating employment for women in agriculture across the value chains. Specific value chains which this project targets is the rice and shea butter value chains. We have taken up the responsibility of creating an environment that projects agriculture as attractive and lucrative, especially to young people. Stanbic IBTC Bank is also working to introduce more innovative initiatives and products geared towards enhancing the growth of the Nigerian agricultural sector and the economy at large. I implore you to seek the necessary aid that you may need to maximize agricultural production, and Stanbic IBTC Bank will always be available to help. I will conclude by reiterating that agriculture remains pivotal to the growth of the Nigerian Commonwealth and the sustenance of its citizens' well-being. Once again, I thank you for the opportunity, and I have no doubt that the deliberations at this event will yield fruitful results. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. That was a really excellent presentation, and I think the fact that 90% of agriculture is produced at the subsistence level shows the wealth of possibilities when we have modernisation and mechanisation of the agricultural sector, importantly for food security. And also I'd like to congratulate you on your work with the UN and seed funding for women, who are of course critical for agriculture worldwide. It was also brilliant to hear of your huge portfolio and dedicated agribusiness finance offering, including working capital, trade finance products and assets financing funding, which really does support a huge range of clients too. Thank you again. Now on to our first product promotion session. This is something that's close to my heart, having seen the parent of this company speak at our event for Algeria just this Tuesday. I'm really excited to see this, especially as a country such as Nigeria, which has a vast access to renewable power but a surprisingly little uptake of it, especially in rural environments, and obviously this is something which is crucial to the agricultural sector. It's my absolute delight to invite ABM to open our first session.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It is a pleasure and an honor to speak to you today. I'd like to thank the DMA, DIT, and the Nigerian authorities for putting together this event and also giving us the opportunity to speak to you today. My name is Victor Udom. I am the country representative for ABM Global Energy in Nigeria. I am based in Lagos, Nigeria, and I manage and operate the business activities for ABM Global Energy. Once again, it is my pleasure and my honor to be here today, and I thank the DMA for giving us this platform to talk about our company and introduce ABM Global Energy to you. Thank you.
Of introduction into our company, ABM Global Energy is a British company that specializes specifically in the off-grid sector. We have a range of off-grid products and solutions that are designed, manufactured for the off-grid space using solar PV and storage. ABM Global Energy was formed in 2017 as a subsidiary of a much larger group, Renewable Energy Partner, which primarily focuses exclusively in Africa and Middle East, providing renewable energy solutions. As a company, ABM Global Energy, we're a company that has been set up to provide a one-stop solution for clean energy products and solutions for the off-grid sector. So we are based in the UK. We're based in London, where we have our engineering team and the sales team. However, our technological and manufacturing team are based in China. As an off-grid company, we have developed solar and storage containerized solutions that are ideal for off-grid, remote, and isolated areas. Our containerized PV solutions are perfectly suited for powering remote and rural communities, microgrids, mini-grid applications. It can also be used for agricultural purposes and farms. It can be used for solar water pumping. It can be used to power health centers, clinics, schools, and it can also be utilized for commercial and industrial purposes as well. We're talking about C&I applications, the likes of telecom masts that are located in remote areas, mining activities, mining companies, oil and gas companies, military bases, and a wide range of off-grid applications. Our units are highly customizable. In terms of size, they range from 10 feet to 40 feet containers, and in terms of power, we can find our applications coming from 3 kilowatts to even as much as 100 kilowatts and above. The system comes complete with the option of either you have it in a PV alone as a standalone unit, or you can have a containerized solution that comes with PV and battery system, or you can also have PV, battery system, and a genset as a full hybrid system with also wind integrated into it. It is a complete mobile PV station. In the container, you have the solar modules, you have the mounting structures, you have the batteries, you have an energy storage system, you have an electric control system, and all other power electronics that make up the complete mobile PV station. It is a plug-and-play system, easy to install, with low cost of electricity. It is easily deployable. You can deploy and redeploy at a moment's notice. It is highly reliable. It also provides clean energy. Our unit's installation is easy. It comes in 3 easy steps. Take the container, you place it on site, you open up the container, deploy the solar modules, which already have been fixed on its mounting structures. You adjust the solar angles, the solar modules to get the right angle, and then you connect the application which you want. If it's a school or if it is for a company, whatever the application may be, it's simple plug and play. Deploy the container, open the doors, deploy the modules, connect, switch the system on, and then you have clean and reliable electricity.
Okay, so solar and agriculture have worked hand in hand for thousands of years. Farmers have literally harnessed energy from the sun in farming. They've used it in planting, they've used it in growing their crops, they've used it in harvesting, and they've also used it in preservation and storage. In recent times, what we see happening in farming today is farmers require a lot of energy to pump water. They need it for irrigation purposes. They need it to refrigerate and store their goods. They need it to process their grains. They need it also for their poultry, for meat, for whatever it is, whatever the case may be. Farmers require a lot of energy. Our solutions at ABM can provide farmers with the necessary energy and electricity they need. Our off-grid solutions are suitable for agriculture and agribusiness, in the sense that it is cost effective, the maintenance is minimal, it adds value to the business and the farm, it leaves no carbon footprint.
More lights on our off-grid solutions. These are some of our projects deployed in East Africa, in Kenya specifically. These are 3 different installations using 20-foot containers that were installed last year for the purpose of powering rural communities. They have been operational for over a year now without any problems. We are looking to do similar kinds of projects in Nigeria, and over the past year, we have actively engaged solar PV developers, organizations, some stakeholders in our off-grid solutions. We have had several discussions with these organizations with interest in the off-grid sector, whereas we would be the number 1 choice for off-grid solutions in Nigeria.
We truly believe in Nigeria's potential in this field, and as such, we are excited about contributing to Nigeria's energy transition goals through the use of solar in agriculture. Thank you all for your time, and I will be happy to answer any questions you will have in the Q&A session. Thank you for this, thank you for listening, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the program. Thank you.
Thank you, Victor. That was a really excellent presentation, and of course we know about your presence on the ground, and I'm really glad that you were able to showcase your offering so brilliantly this morning to our audience, and I'm sure you'll get a lot of inquiries from this too. Our next trader is Water Power Technologies Limited, and we're going to have a video from them about their innovative solutions to water access and water efficiency, which I think you'll find really exciting.
Are you flushing money down the drain by using mains water for livestock or for irrigation or general use? If you have a spring, stream or river, there is a better choice. You can buy and install a popper pump. Deliver water to where you need it without using any fuel or electricity. It's free water. Save money by saving energy. Save time and money on maintenance and repairs. And don't just take our word for it. Ask our customers.
We used the Papa pump system because there was no electrical power where all the water was, and obviously they run off their own water supply, and it's easy to install, and there's no hassle with wires and connections and electricity meters. Our water bills have been about 22,000 a year, and now we're only using mains water for washing the parlour down and in the house, so the cattle are drinking the rest of it, and we're estimating between 18 and 20,000 pounds a year saving.
We were looking at what we could save with our utilities, because all the prices are going up all the time, and the Papa pumps sounded too good to be true, but they are working very well. We would have paid as much out in mains water that would have covered the cost of the pumps in the first year. Getting something delivered for nothing once we've paid for the initial installation is a no-brainer as far as we were concerned.
As long as your filters are clean and water's going through it, so it's just so simple, you know, and the water is delivered where you want it. I've seen how easy it is to take water from a stream and use for irrigation purposes.
We're on electric pumps from a borehole, and the pumps were working some 6, 8, 7 hours a day, in and out over the 24-hour period. And now they run, that is just a backup system, and they will be only running for sort of an hour, maybe hour and a half a day. So, you know, it's a dramatic, the most efficient system that you could possibly have.
Solved all my water problems, no more water bills, saving me a lot of money, paying for itself very quick, and I think it's a must for most farmers.
It's clean, cheap way of moving water around the farm, so we're very pleased with that.
Essentially it's free water, providing there's enough water in the stream you can get a greater deal of water to the places you need it on the farm, which is very useful for us.
The water they used to use was used for a booster set, electric power booster set. All of that is now gone with this system. There's no human interface whatsoever, nor is there any external power supply, no pneumatics, hydraulics. It's just the head of water off the top of the tank behind me, feeding the mouth of those pumps, repressurised back up to the top. It works 24 hours a day.
What I've got here is a cutaway of a Papa 2-inch pump and a flow control valve. Now, the interesting thing about this is to differentiate it between the old cast iron pumps. This is a composite material, which is basically a 50% fibre and nylon mix. It's very strong, non-corrosive, and it was developed as an engineering material over the last 15 years. I knew quite a lot about the traditional ram pumps, and I also knew of the inadequacies that were in the system. The main problem with the traditional pump is the waste valve. So what we've got here is a completely redesigned waste valve which uses a Venturi effect. So as you can see, there's a curved surface on the back, rather like an aeroplane wing, gives an aeroplane lift. What happens here, as the water flows through it, it accelerates quickly through this small gap, causing low pressure on the back, which causes the valve to shut very quickly. And from an engineering point of view, a well-designed valve should be light with a very small cross-sectional area, which is what we've been able to manage with this design here.
We've got 7 holiday cottages here which all feed to this sewer system. 30 years probably running these mono pumps. No end of problems, filtration problems. So we used to use this kind of filter which just inherently blocks really quickly, and now we moved on to the Ceradix system. Never had a problem, had this system now for 2 years, and not one problem, not one pump breakdown. Previously to this new system, I used to come down all the time, maybe once a week sometimes, constantly blocking, absolute nightmare. Now I just come down, take it out, plunge it in a bucket of water quite a few times, and reinstall. It's as simple as that.
Well, the range of applications for the Ceradisc is huge, going from the simple fish pond application through to wells, right up to the sewage works. In this installation, we're drawing water out from just below the surface, so we're using the Ceradisc filters with the floats, and it draws water from about 6 inches underneath the surface. It's not taking in vegetation from the top or muck from the bottom, so the water going to the irrigation tanks is clean. Whether you have a pond, lagoon or well, whether you're a farmer, horticulturist, fish farmer, you could all benefit from using a Ceradisc filter.
So at the end of the day, you know, this system is so good, it's amazing. It's very cheap, economical, doesn't wear out, non-corrosive, the perfect system.
Thank you so much. That was a brilliant video. And of course, one of the biggest challenges in rural areas is access to water, which is why this technology and equipment is so important to so many of you watching today, not only in saving money, but in saving energy too, which is crucial for improving energy efficiency and of course sustainability as well. We're now going to go on to our next video, which is from Househam Sprayers Limited, which produce a wide range of machinery that I think you'll find really interesting, and I hope there are more questions to come for this as well.
Willey, the Managing Director of Househam Sprayers, based in Udom, Lincolnshire, England. We've been making sprayers now since 1970 and have developed a whole range of machines which have been supplied to people all around the world. These include the Air Ride, the Harrier, the Spirit and the Predator. Over the years we have been able to develop these machines by listening to the operators and owners who are placed all around the world and help develop them along with our own engineering department, the service team and our product support team. So we honestly have machines which are fully suited to any user that's requirements. We back all of this up. We have a very good product support team where we can give telephone advice or if necessary field help as well with these machines. We also carry over 24,000 parts in stock, which are available for courier service to anywhere in the world. So we are able to deliver, support and maintain these sprayers for many years. So since 1970 we've still got some of those machines still working. So it does show that they are very reliable and give many years of good hard work for the operator and owner. Thank you.
Thank you, Robert, for your contributions there, and it's great to see that you have so many machines suited to any user, and these can really be maintained for many years. I'd also like to welcome the many more people who've registered and joined the event as the day's been progressing, and I hope you'll find the rest of the presentations also really interesting. Our next one is a rather unusual presentation, so we're going to start with a news report which was originally delivered in the UK, which shows what the product offer is, and then a second video which is a more practical offer, and we'll go into the detail of the equipment from Domelow.
John Domelow is testing his latest reconditioned tractor. He previously taught agricultural engineering at universities in Malawi and Tanzania before starting Domelow International in 1996.
When I decided to give up lecturing, I found that a lot of people, especially from Tanzania, where I'd worked for the last 8 years, were approaching me and said, "Look, I need a tractor. Can you help me?" And so I could see the demand was there.
Since then, he's sold more than 3,000 tractors to farmers in Africa. The company buys old tractors bound for the scrap heap from British farmers, some dating back to the 1960s. His team then restores the engines and bodies before they start the month-long journey by sea to Africa. This tractor ended its life on a British farm. It's due to start a new one soon in Mali. Brand new, it would cost around $100,000. It's being sold reconditioned to African farmers for a third of the cost. The business feeds the growing demand in Africa for more mechanical methods in agriculture in a bid to yield bigger profits.
The older tractors in Africa are in poor shape, with many missing parts and a broken, well, I won't say beyond possible repair, but it works out to be more economical for us to supply a tractor from here.
Welcome to Domelow International Limited, the specialists in reconditioned agricultural tractors and farm machinery. At Domelow International, we specialise in Massey Ferguson tractors. We supply tractors all over the world, but by far our biggest markets are in Africa, where our director has extensive experience. When a used tractor arrives in our workshop for reconditioning, we start by doing a thorough check. We then dismantle the tractor for reconditioning. The engine, clutch, transmission, hydraulic system, steering, brakes and electrical system are all thoroughly checked. All worn, missing or broken parts are replaced or repaired. Here you can see the work that we have done to replace the pistons and liners on a Massey Ferguson 265. After reassembly of the main components, the tractor is repainted to a high standard in original manufacturer's colours. Original manufacturer's logos will also be applied in due course. Final assembly of the wiring, lights and minor components is then carried out. Every tractor is then thoroughly tested to make sure that it meets our rigorous standards. Many of our customers also request us to supply agricultural implements for use with our tractors. We therefore carry a wide range of implements. Disc ploughs and disc harrows are particularly popular. We can also supply planters, maize harvesters, maize shellers, trailers, fertilizer spreaders and many other items. If you don't find what you need on our website, then please contact us. We can also arrange shipping from UK to almost any destination worldwide. Thank you for visiting our website, and please get in touch by email, phone or post if you require any further information.
Thank you, and what a great offering there, especially as the penetration for tractors in Nigeria is so low. This is a really cost-effective solution from a company that has a long track record in Africa and a wealth of experience as well. Our next presenter is Russel from a third-generation family company which has a strong history in exporting to sub-Saharan Africa. Russel, over to you.
Hello and good morning everyone, and thanks to Developing Markets Associates and along with the Department international trade, for the UK and Agri Nigeria for this opportunity to present the J. Brock & Sons range of cultivation equipment. Briefly, my name's Russel Brock. I'm third generation at J. Brock & Sons. We've been working for 50 years on this site here, doing primarily reselling agricultural machinery, but in recent years we have also developed our own Brock range. Been exporting for the past 25 years to various countries around the world, including Africa. Often it's timber equipment that's gone to Africa, as it's quite well known there, and works well. So export is an important part of our business, and to this end we have geared up quite extensively for doing export. As you can see with the loading, particularly in container loading, we've got a container loading ramp so we can get most things into a container, which economises on transport. We have done ro-ro shipping, but obviously container shipping is cheaper, and furthermore documentation, everything is we're happy to complete, and we have done LC payment by letter of credit when necessary. Facilities for our export customers to be able to get hold of us. We've got a website with extensive pictures and often videos of our used machines, and we're always happy to communicate via email or WhatsApp, other mediums, to give more details, give as accurate a description as possible for anyone considering buying machinery. Contact me for further any questions. This was some used timber equipment that we supplied to a project in Sierra Leone, where they were bringing brushland into production using these heavy timber discs. And then we move on to the story of the Brock range. Came about really from experience in selling and repairing other manufacturers' machines. Produced various machines over the years, when according to customer request, but in 2015 we formalised it into a proper range of equipment, some of which you can see here is subsoilers and combination tillage machines and a seed drill, and it's growing, and we're excited about this range. It does seem to suit some of the export markets well, and in fact for the Brock range, export has been a key part of our growth. Subsoiler rippers are probably our mainstay, and we've produced a very wide range, right from this 3-metre subsoiler to suit a tractor, anything from 150 horsepower upwards, through to this huge deep rip machine, which is designed for areas where they need to rip through non-productive land really deep, to get the water into it, get it to hold water and allow the crops to access the nutrients. This has been one of our main export machines, actually, including 10 or more to Egypt. They have been very popular there. And obviously that's designed for the largest tractors and bulldozers, but will still fit into a standard shipping container, as illustrated in this bottom corner here. This is a brief video showing some of the subsoilers going. That's a 3-metre one working on a 170 horsepower tractor. And then there's a 6-metre one working on a large Challenger. It's a troweled machine, and then you can see the large, huge deep rip machine working behind a large articulated tractor there. Moving on, we have actually had experience in supplying Brock machines to Nigeria. This was the Brock Super Till machine that you see in the bottom corner here. It's recommended by a consultant to a large sugarcane grower in Nigeria. They were looking for a machine to prepare the ground for sugarcane effectively and chop up residues, and the consultant recommended this as the most effective machine available, with the large single discs and good clearances through it. It's actually supplied through a dealer who had local presence in Nigeria, and we adapted to their required specification, produced the machine within 20 weeks. Here you can see a video of the machine when we tested it before sending it over to Nigeria. As you can see, it's well able to cope with a lot of vegetation and brush. Leaves them. This gives an idea of the clearances through the machine and how effectively it mixes. And then we, despite it being such a large machine, we did manage to fit it all into one 40-foot shipping container. Did need a bit of ingenuity, but we managed, and that obviously saves a lot of transport costs. The main elements going in, and you can see the wheels going in now. Other Brock machines available. We've done very wide land rollers, tractor pulled land rollers up to 24 metres, and here you can see a disc and press roller machine, which has been a popular machine, worked very well. And you'll see a brief video of the rock seed drill, which is a time-based drill, works effectively in all conditions, but relatively simple. Finally, the Brock range, just like to point out that the Brock range has largely come about through customer requests. So if there's a specific need that you've got, that you need a machine to suit that need, we are very happy to consider that, because that in fact is how a lot of our designs have come about, including the deep rip, which has been a very popular machine in Africa. As I mentioned, these are a few of the recent concept machines that we've done. You can see here a 3-point linkage mounted ripper for smaller tractors, and when you still customers with smaller tractors still might want to rip to depth. This is a heavy disc concept with large 36-inch disc blades or 900mm disc blades, but they're on individually mounted very heavy duty bearings, which gives more clearance through the disc, between the discs, for brush and vegetation. And finally a V-type ripper with an optional roller, which can be might be well suited to a slightly smaller tractor, or in situations where customers don't need to go as deep as with a deep rip. So that's what we've got to tell you. We're interested in Nigeria as a market, and we do appreciate your time and attention. If you have any questions, I'd be really glad to hear from you. My name's Russel Brock, as I mentioned, and you can contact me on the email address or on the telephone number below, or you may just want to look at our website for some further information. In whichever instance, look forward to hearing from you, and hope there may be something of interest for those on this call. Many thanks.
Thank you, Russell, for that really detailed presentation. And actually, I've seen lots of questions coming in from the audience on your offering there too. It's great to hear that you've been exporting for 25 years and are really very well experienced in this, and it's great to see so many examples of the different ranges that you offer in action. Our next speaker is from Clarke Energy, which is a big British brand that has a long history with Nigeria and also actually a long history with us at DMA. It's my pleasure to hand over to Alex Marshall, who's first going to give a brief history on Clarke Energy and then going to talk a little bit more about their latest offering in the agricultural sector.
Clarke Energy is an international specialist in gas-based power systems. We've operated in Nigeria since 2003, having supplied over 400 megawatts of power generation across the country. These installations help to deliver reliable electricity and heat supplies to industrial facilities and independent power producers. We are also able to support the agricultural sector with the provision of gas-based power systems to agricultural processing plants. In addition to this, we supply biogas engines able to provide renewable power from agricultural digesters and gas upgrading facilities able to create pure renewable methane from biogas.
Biogas is a renewable fuel which is produced during the process of anaerobic microorganisms digesting putrescible materials. These materials can include human waste in the form of sewage, food waste, effluents, farm wastes, slurries, and energy crops. Biogas is produced at multiple sites, including wastewater treatment plants, farm biogas plants, industrial anaerobic digesters, and landfill sites. Biogas is deemed to be a renewable energy source. Plants use carbon dioxide taken from the atmosphere as they grow. The crops are harvested and consumed. The resulting organic waste products provide the raw material for anaerobic digestion and the production of biogas. Gas engines fueled with biogas can generate electricity and provide heating and cooling. Heat can be recovered from the engines in the form of hot water, steam, or high-temperature air. Cooling can also be generated via heat conversion absorption chillers, providing low-temperature air or cold water. Biogas typically contains 50 to 60% methane and 40 to 50% carbon dioxide. Biogas upgrading plants use innovative technology to remove the carbon dioxide from the biogas to produce almost pure methane. This gas is called biomethane or renewable natural gas. Biomethane can be injected into the gas grid for commercial and domestic use, or it can be compressed and used as a vehicle fuel. Biogas CHP plants and biogas upgrading systems also have the potential to recover CO2. If carbon capture and conversion technology is added to biogas engines, the systems can also help reduce carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. Clarke Energy have supplied biogas power generation and biogas upgrading solutions across the globe. Clarke Energy provide full turnkey design and build solutions for our customers, along with integration into our customers' facilities. Clarke Energy's project management team act as the principal contractors and designers and oversee the process from design through to installation and commissioning, all in accordance with local regulations. Clarke Energy provide additional support to the customer, including technical information to support planning applications, design information to support electrical and gas connections, emissions and noise data, optimal engine configuration, including remote control connectivity and system management via artificial intelligence. Essential to supporting our biogas and upgrading solutions is service. Clarke Energy's highly skilled technical teams conduct scheduled maintenance, strictly in accordance with the manufacturer's guidelines. Our field service teams are on call 24/7 to support our customers' needs. Clarke Energy's flexible maintenance packages are designed to ensure the long-term efficiency and reliability of our customers' assets. Contact Clarke Energy for more information on our power generation and biogas upgrading solutions.
Thank you so much, Alex, and for that video Two, it's great to see such an innovative use of renewable energy that's applicable to the agricultural sector and something that's really accessible to be used as well. We're now just going to have a short break, and I'll leave you with a video from the Department of International Trade and see you in a few minutes. Welcome back. I hope you enjoyed your tea or coffee break. Maybe you went outside for a quick bit of fresh air. I didn't. It's a bit of a rubbish day in the UK today, but hopefully it's a bit nicer where you are in Nigeria. So now we're going to go back to our second set of exhibitors. The first, I'm sure you'll have no trouble in recognising, is CAT, which is quite an iconic brand, and here we have a global distributor that's specialising in equipment in Africa.
At ManTrack, we understand you work in a fast-paced, challenging world. That's why you can rely on us to provide you with the equipment, support, services, parts, and infrastructure you need to get the job done. With over 40 years' experience working in some of the most remote places, you can call on us as your sole supplier of genuine CAT construction equipment, power solutions, and parts. By providing world-class CAT equipment, world-class expertise and technical resources with essential local experience, you can count on us to deliver. Operating onshore in Egypt, Iraq, Sierra Leone, Liberia, Ghana, Nigeria, Uganda, Tanzania, Kenya and Russia, and with offshore offices in the UK and Dubai, we are well placed to serve you. Choose from a wide range of new and used CAT machines to suit any application, from heavy construction, general contracting, earth moving, quarries and aggregates, paving, mining or waste handling industries, including a variety of Caterpillar material handling equipment. And our team of experts also use the latest high-tech computerized technology to ensure you get the best fit and most cost-effective solution. If you need power to operate your business at maximum efficiency, you can rely on the exclusive line of CAT power generation systems and ManTrack renewable energy solutions to meet your requirements. As well as the complete range of CAT and Mac marine engines for propulsion and onboard power supplies, we also offer total solutions for transmissions, stern gear and controls. Control your costs and maximize productivity and profits with ManTrack's range of financial solutions and rental options on a range of new and certified used CAT machinery. So whether you want to buy, rent or rent to own, you can choose from a range of packages that will help you grow your business, not your investments. And of course, our high-quality CAT equipment is also backed up by our high-quality service guarantee, as voted by you, our customers, year after year.
Nigeria's story is one of impressive growth and massive development. The country is swiftly being recognized as the continent's largest and most dynamic economy. Since 2000, Nigeria has averaged annual growth of 8.6% on gross domestic product. Economic experts predict Nigeria will enter the world's top 20 economies by 2030, with GDP exceeding $1.6 trillion. ManTrack Nigeria has always been an integral part in this development by supporting thousands of customers in different industries, including construction, road maintenance, power generation, oil and gas, and telecommunications. ManTrack Nigeria empowered large regional and small local customers with Caterpillar equipment and superior services for over 60 years. Caterpillar dealership incorporated in Nigeria in 1948. In 1997, ManTrack Group acquired the business and invested in its development. Throughout these years, ManTrack Nigeria has consistently grown and developed, and today represents an investment of more than $110 million. To become an essential part of our customers' value chain, we have expanded our branch footprint, bringing the total to 8 locations strategically located across Nigeria, delivering closer access and support to our customers, with head office in Lagos and branches in Victoria Island, Abuja, Ibadan, Kaduna, Kano, Enugu, Port Harcourt, Warri. Pride of place among ManTrack Nigeria's facilities goes to the Nigeria Genset Assembly Plant. Complete knockdown factory. The most advanced manufacturing line in Nigeria, representing a $7.5 million investment. The factory covers 3,300 square meters with over 200 factory staff. Over 44,000 units have been produced since its inception in 2009. More than 4,500 units produced in 2018 alone, and the factory has a potential output of 8,000 units each year. Our our relationship with IHS Towers, Nigeria's leading telecom infrastructure, provides a holistic power solution for the telecoms services giant. ManTrack Nigeria manages 1,970 mobile network sites for IHS, which spans across 4 regions: Lagos, Abuja, Asaba, and Enugu. ManTrack Nigeria's unrivaled facilities throughout the country supports our customers in the field, on-site, and in our workshops. The depth and scale of our product support capability is a key competitive advantage, driving machine performance, efficient utilization rates, and strong customer engagement and loyalty. We build long-term customer relationships, guaranteeing they have the support for their Caterpillar equipment. Our central warehouse in Lagos plays a key role in meeting our customers' needs. It covers 6,276 square meters, holds over 8,000 line items, and 90% of our parts supplies with a value of over $10 million. All major branches offer on-premises workshops to provide our customers with outstanding service, with the 2 largest covering 4,344 square meters and 2,200 square meters. The facilities also feature certified rebuild centers and workshop in both Lagos and Port Harcourt, engine dynometers in Lagos and Port Harcourt, undercarriage repairs, CAT certified powertrain, fuel pump testing facilities, test bench for ultronic magneto repairs and testing, scheduled oil sampling SOS lab. People are at the heart of our business and our future. We seek to attract and retain the best. At ManTrack Nigeria, we have a highly skilled, motivated, and empowered workforce. Our skilled workforce understands the importance of creating customer value and building long-lasting customer relationships.
We are definitely performing very well compared to last year.
We create an environment that encourages creativity, innovation, integrity, and a sense of collaboration among all our employees. Our commitment is to serve and support our customers and their Caterpillar equipment in the best way possible. This is underlined by ManTrack Nigeria's $200,000 investment in highly specialized training and development. ManTrack Nigeria is the first within the group to be certified for the D3500 Master Mechanic Program. Customers are our lifeblood. Our commitment to customer service and after-sales support is what sets us apart from the competition. But as the market becomes increasingly competitive, ManTrack Nigeria has recognized the need to focus even more on exceeding customer expectations and delivering a
Thank you for that impressive video, and we're still having so many questions coming through. Please keep them coming and we will direct them to the appropriate people as soon as we can. We're now going to hear from our next trader, which is Alvan Blanch. We're first going to have a video and then we're going to hear from Christabel Blanch about this family-run post-harvest processing system which has won an incredible number of international awards.
My name is Christabel Blanch, Africa Sales Manager for Alvan Blanch. I'm just going to talk through today some of our experience of exporting to Africa. We manufacture from our office and factory here in the UK in the southwest, and we specialise in post-harvest processing systems and grain drying solutions. I'm just going to talk you through the presentation here. So a brief history is that Alvan Blanch was actually my grandfather. He founded the company almost 70 years ago, and we have specialised in export markets for over 60 years, and the Queen's Award for International Trade has been awarded to us 3 times, and we are focused on export markets such as those in Africa, which bring about a huge opportunity for us in terms of development of new products as well as expansion of our sales. So in terms of our operations, our export accounts for more than 85% of our turnover, and we focus on providing regional support to our clients from our technical offices in East and West Africa, as well as many more dealers and sales operations across the continent. Our manufacturing facility here in the UK you've just seen a video of, so I won't need to talk too much about that, but we focus on backwards integration of manufacturing to ensure that we have full control over the quality of our machines. In terms of our technical expertise and product development, we are an R&D focused company. We have a bespoke R&D department which focuses on testing and trialing of new products, development of new products to keep ahead with the market. And that's, we found, particularly important in the African market, where there's so much tapping into new products and new product lines that can be done. In terms of training, when we come and install our systems for our clients, our engineers will not only do the installation or oversee the installation, but they'll also ensure that all of the local teams are fully trained on how to operate the systems. So I'm just going to quickly talk about our long-term presence in Africa. As you can see here, we have a range of engineers across the continent who can support our clients both with installations and also service support. In Kampala and Lagos, we have our own Alvan Blanch engineers that work with us and support our clients, as well as working with installation group crews who can come and provide a full installation of silo systems or other process lines for our clients. So I'm now just going to talk through some of our systems that we offer. First of all, harvesting equipment. So we offer a range of sort of small to medium scale harvesting equipment, from reaper binders and maize pickers to threshers and shellers for maize and for rice and many other crops. So the next stage after harvest, you have post-harvest processing. First of all, the most important thing is to ensure the grain is clean and dry, and then to ensure that it's stored in a safe fashion, and that could be either in bags or ideally in silo systems. So the first slide in this you'll see is shows our sort of smaller scale batch cleaning and drying systems, and these are designed really for kind of cooperative level or smaller farm level, and are really quite cost effective and simple to operate. That's how they've been designed, is they're just a few machines, nice and simple, cleaning and drying and ensuring that the quality of your grains are maintained. So then on from that, you have a more commercial scale of cleaning and drying. So here at Iri in Uganda, you have a cleaning and drying system continuous, that's 10 tons per hour. And again, the next slide shows the World Food Programme in Uganda actually purchased 9 cleaning and drying systems from us for various operators across Uganda. And these again are sort of medium scale cleaning and drying systems continuously operated. Then next, you'll start to see in these next slides now our bulk storage systems. So these are clients who are perhaps trading grain, so they'll be buying grain from harvest or even after harvest. They'll be cleaning, drying, and safely storing inside aerated silos. Some of the larger systems towards the end of the slide here is in Nigeria. These are actually federal grain reserves, and they're designed to store as much as 50,000 tons of grains inside the silos there. So on to the next section, we also offer seed cleaning and grain cleaning systems. So that is commercial cleaning systems that could be for breweries or for food processors, seed cleaning, grading and treatment systems, and that is to ensure the quality of grain is absolutely the highest spec and treated with chemical treatment in order for seed multiplication. And then we also have colour or optical sorting systems for even more precision grading prior to export, which so many of the export markets demand nowadays. So just going through these sorghum cleaning and destoning systems, this is probably one of our kind of sort of biggest regular commercial sales. Our clients generally supply to various breweries and food processors, but including Guinness Nigeria, Guinness Cameroon, Heineken, Nigerian breweries, AB InBev and Nestle. The next slide shows, the next few slides will actually show now our seed cleaning systems. So these seed cleaning systems are designed to ensure the best quality of seed for multiplication, including, you can see this bespoke skid mounted system that we designed for Egypt and Sudan. Okay, we now have the feed milling systems that we offer. So we offer a range of feed mills, from simple mill and mix systems for poultry or cattle or livestock, all the way to more complex systems like steam extrusion lines for fish feed and pelleting systems for poultry. We also offer soya extrusion and soya oil expelling systems, which of course are key in these in the supply to the feed mills. So you can see here, first of all, the first few slides showing some of our mash processing systems. That's just mill and mixing, nice and simple. And then going through to our pelleting systems and steam extrusion and fish feed systems. The next section of our product line is food milling systems. So this would be no longer for feed, but for human consumption. So we're looking at rice milling with parboiling, maize flour milling, and cassava flour milling. So just to take you through these. On the rice, certainly in most of West Africa, parboiling is the norm there. And so we have both parboiling and drying systems, as well as the integrated rice milling systems, which also come with colour sorter to ensure that best quality of white rice at the end of the system. Of course, rice is a key market across Africa, and especially with most countries looking to try and substitute the amount of rice they're importing currently with local rice production. So in terms of the maize and cassava flour milling, we're doing more and more on this as well. Obviously, maize flour is a big market in East Africa and increasingly also in parts of West Africa. And on the cassava flour, certainly that's very much of interest across Africa, particularly given that cassava is such a subsistence product still and farmed so extensively. You can see we've also supplied the World Food Programme with specialist skid-mounted systems for milling maize, and we also recently completed 2 systems for milling sorghum in Somalia, also for World Food Programme. So finally, fruit juice processing. This is a slightly different side of our business. We've obviously been talking about grains till now. On the fruit juice processing, we offer systems that will process fresh fruit into juice on a mobile system, and we also offer commercial juice processing lines all the way through to concentration if necessary, or to packaging. You can see here an example of some of our projects, such as the mobile processing system for Makerere University in Kampala, and for various private and state sectors on the mobile systems for pineapple and for tomato and mango, as well as our paste processing line that we have being installed in Kano in Nigeria currently. So that gives you a brief summary of all of our product range which we focus on for Africa. I hope this has been of interest to you, and if you have any questions at all, please do feel free to get in touch. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Christabel, for that really brilliant presentation. And I think we're really saving the best till last there to hear from such a well-run and impactful family legacy company that's doing so much in sub-Saharan Africa. Now I'm going to show you another video from Sumo, which is a company focused on farm machinery. We have a great deal of information for you on their slides, of which there were over 150, so we're just going to show you a small selection now, and the rest will be available on our website after the event. In the meantime, here's a short video and synopsis of Sumo, who are a multidisciplinary manufacturer of some really interesting agribusiness equipment. Thank you very much, Sumo. And just to reiterate, more detailed slides are going to be available on our website after the event today. Our next company is a really interesting one, which is involved in the agribusiness value chain as an advisory firm. I'm sure this is going to be a really detailed presentation, and I look forward to hearing from you, Andy.
Hello, my name is Andy Ritchie and I'm the CEO of Agri Frontier. We are an Africa-focused agribusiness investment and advisory firm with offices in West Africa, in Nigeria, in East Africa, in Kenya, and also in the UK. We started our business in Kenya 10 years ago and now have a strong presence across East Africa. We started in West Africa more recently and are now replicating our services across the West Africa region. As an agribusiness value chain advisory firm, we offer a wide range of business development and technical assistance. We provide a traditional business planning and financial management services to help strategically develop your business. We differentiate ourselves by being specialists in the agribusiness sector. We only advise in agribusiness, and we have experts within our team for every value chain, whether it be agroforestry, macadamia, avocados, or row cropping of all seeds and grains, horticulture for export or local, rice, livestock, all the agri-sector service industries of mechanization, irrigation, genetics, seed breeding, etc. There's a lot of diversity between each agri value chain, and we have specialist expertise for each. We also partner with a firm of agronomists and soil nutrition experts called CropNuts, where we also share offices with in Nigeria, Kenya, and the UK. A large part of our work is raising investment funds for our agribusiness clients, helping them to become investment ready. We also support a number of retained investors, providing them with investment ready deals that meet their requirements. A key part of our work is completing commercial due diligence projects, either as part of the fundraising process to ensure that the investment opportunities we propose are credible, or on behalf of third-party investors seeking an independent assessment pre-investment. Often as part of a due diligence or as part of a fundraising process, we'll be asked to undertake a business valuation, particularly in support of equity investments. We also prepare commercial agribusiness feasibility studies of new opportunities. Recent studies have included macadamia, avocado, and coffee plantations, a beef feedlot, dairy processing, and a wide range of agro-processing projects, including grains for livestock feeds, aquaculture feeds, fruit processing, grains, and cassava flour. These feasibility studies are a combination of commercial, market, technical, and financial, with an emphasis on commercial application and reality. If you feel we can be of any support to you in Nigeria or in the UK, please get in touch. My name, once again, is Andy Ritchie. My email address, aritchie@agrifrontier.com. And you can also see our details on our website, www.agrifrontier.com. Many thanks.
Thank you very much, Andrew, for that presentation and for providing your contact details as well. I'm sure you'll have lots of interest given the variety of services that you can offer and your impressive presence on the African continent. We're now going over to our last company of today, which is passionate about ecological sustainability and use a range of organic materials to combat many of the challenges created by the climate crisis. We're really looking forward to this, so I'd like to hand over to Phil from EcoStim.
Good afternoon, Phil Gaffney from EcoStim. We're a UK-based manufacturer of complex natural biostimulants. We're based in Sussex and we have our manufacturing and R&D plants within the UK also. We have a product range covering 5 different products. 4 of them are available in 2 formats. The key aspects of the range would come down to return on investment, the environmental benefits being a reduction on chemical inputs, increases in crop yield, the increase in the shelf life, which we'll cover in a little more detail later, and also an overall increase in crop quality. Some of the typical increases in yield that we've experienced range from cucumber in the UK being an 18% increase, through tea at a 45% increase in yield in a partner farm in Sri Lanka, through to a test that we've done in our own test area of grape, and it was on Black Hamburg grape done in the UK, where we achieved a 140% increase in yield. As much as I would love to say that that would be the norm, we imagine that that will be closer to a 30% increase at best in the commercial world. Other noticeable benefits are a higher grade of the tea quality in whenever it was taken to market. The increased nutrient level, so for the same size bowl of rice, for instance, a lot more nutrition there, and that's something that we find important. The Brix content being increased in tomato, that's the natural sugars within the plant itself, or within the product itself. So in simple terms to me, that is more flavour. So if the thing is more flavoursome, it's got to be better. If we add that to a couple of days of increased shelf life, that has to be good. Eco Cereal is our core product. It's available in 5 kilo and 10 kilo bags. If requested, we can deliver it in 25 kilo bags or in 1 ton bags. The big things on this product would be the ability to reduce the chemical inputs. Earlier cropping, in the test that we've done, anywhere from 14 to 21 days earlier cropping, increase in the yield 10-12% on commercial grown winter wheat in the UK, through to 45% that we achieved in Sri Lanka, and also about 42% that we achieved in northern Nigeria. Eco Fruit is my favourite product. The results that this product can deliver, I find phenomenal. The improved shelf life is something that the growers have told me is key for them, so we've put that as number 1 in terms of the features. This extra 2 to 3 days, the reduction in wastage for the supermarkets or the end purchasers is significant. If we consider how much gets wasted in transport, it's terrifying. The increases in yield, as you saw that we mentioned on grape earlier, they can be phenomenal. And it doesn't matter whether it's chilies, sweet peppers, tomato or blueberries. Those increases in yield will be there. And a great thing for somebody like me who enjoys their food, those improved flavours. So if we have the improved flavours, the extra couple of days shelf life, you know, your product is going to be the premium. EcoVeg, again, the improved shelf life, the increases in yield. The earlier cropping has been quite noticeable on this, depending on what type of crop it is. but again significant. That little move to market slightly faster than the rest can make a difference to the return on investment at the end. Again, available in liquid and granular form. In granular, it's available 5 kilo or 10 kilo. In liquid, it comes 10 litre drums. Eco Flour. Two key things on this. Again, the improved shelf life, but as well as that, something that we noticed was an improved colour, the colours being more vibrant. And of course, you know, we have those other things, the increase in yield, which is pretty much the basis of your return on the investment, that reduction in the chemicals, that's bad for Mother Earth and the rest of us. And this product is again available in either granular or liquid form. We can provide consultancy services if required. We're more than happy to have a conversation with you about that. Just please contact us and we'll have a detailed conversation. Contact details are on the last slide. We can manufacture over 1,000 tonnes per week. We can now also increase this if necessary. We have logistical partners to cover the globe. Brochures are available in English, French, German, Spanish and Portuguese. Currently we're getting it formatted and translated into Arabic also. We want to speak with distributors that have experience and are well established within the agricultural supply world. We're also open to having a conversation about being a joint venture partner. This is a model that we have already in place in one country. If you would like to make a substantial investment and have the sole rights for that country, we can do that under a JV agreement. I'm Phil Gaffney. Please feel free to email us. The office number is on the slide there also. And you can also contact us through the website. I look forward to speaking with you in the future, and even if it's only general information, we're more than happy to have a chat. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that really interesting presentation, and what a way to conclude today's event. Just before we go, I'd like to say a really big thank you to the Department of International Trade and the UK Government, as well as the All Farmers Association, Agri Nigeria, Stanbic Bank and Oxford Business Group. I think we've found a fantastic champion in Seyi, so thank you very much for helping us start this dialogue on how Britain can better engage Nigeria's agriculture sector. I'd also like to say thank you to all of our wonderful presenters and companies for making this event possible, but also most of all to you, the audience. Thank you for having made the time to join us today and for having been so engaged. We will continue to follow up on all the questions that have been asked, and we'll be in contact shortly with some next steps for you too. Thank you very much for joining us, and I hope you have a really, really lovely weekend.